You got to put in effort also.
Yeah, you have to put in effort to be a likable version of yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
It's the same thing as like at home you fart, at home you leave your dishes out. When you go on date, you don't do this kind of nonsense, right?
Welcome to our coffee shop. I'm your host, Media Leong, and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you that are tuning in via YouTube or any sort of podcasting platform, hi again. Thank you so much for giving us a try, for giving us a listen. We're just a Singaporean duo that are fascinated by dating. Speaking of people that are dating experts.
The wannabe hitch.
Yeah, wannabe hitch. I am joined by my KopiBro, Mr. Brandon. Yo, Brandon, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you feeling the love today?
I feel the love tonight. I really do.
Interestingly enough, I think we've covered this before in previous episodes. You are actually someone that are very fascinated by dating, or what? Like the
yeah. Honestly, I used to be so fascinated. I think after I watched it, especially and I used to like to go on dates. Like in the past, I always find dating it's like a very nice thing to do, like to go out to meet someone new, to find out more about them, I find common interests, not really to get into a relationship, but it's very interesting to see how your chemistry is with a new person, like how sometimes on the first date, things you feel like you know the person for 10 years, not you have been dating this person for a while, but it's actually just a first date, and while the first date is just filled with super awkward silences.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, right? So you're married now. You're both married people. Prior to you getting married, maybe prior to you getting with your wife, how many dates do you think you went on, in total?
I would say not more than 100. I would say that's a cap. I don't know the rough number, but it's confirmed not 100.
Okay, but it's been a lot really a lot
As in dates it's just normal date, going out with friends, going out one-on-one. Okay. So I would say more than 20 probably, about there
Okay.
So it's in between that range.
Yeah, so in between 20 to 100
yeah. Somewhere there
same gauge. Yeah, so based upon that, the average, I think you're about 60. Which is in between 20 and 100.
Honestly, I really can't tell. I'm really not sure.
Okay. But for instance, when you went on those dates, it was in the era that there was no sort of online dating.
Yes. I think only towards the end of my right before I met Amanda, I tried Tinder for a bit, but in the end for the Tinder wise, right, it wasn't really. I didn't really go on that many Tinder dates,
Tinder dates.
At that point, at that point I was still catching on, so it's it was people were still not that comfortable into meeting someone for dinner or coffee doing someone you met from Tinder, so it's I was still catching on.
Yeah, but do you think that if it was during your time, if the online dating thing was really popular, would you have used it, or do you or do you feel it's something that sort of takes away the organic nature of meeting somebody?
I think you, especially if you're someone who likes to go on dates, right? You would do both And honestly, Tinder makes it so much easier. So honestly, I think I look at my friends the way but like I say, it's a good and bad problem.
It's a good and bad problem.
When you have too many options and you feel like you have a lot of options, right? You don't focus on one. You get what I mean? When you organically meet someone, you like the person, you talk to the person, you find out who you whether you all really like each other. Then after it's easier to get into a serious relationship compared to if you're talking to 10 or 20 girls and you're going on dates with 4 or 5. Knowing that they are also going on dates with other people, it's very hard for you all to move on to a serious relationship when that happens. Like, because in the back of mind, you're like thinking, it's the fact that, I got other options, and the person also got other options. So you don't get into a serious relationship that as easily as last time, I feel.
Yeah. It's always something that I thought about, like, cause I've never done like online dating or any sort of like this type of thing. I don't think it's something that I could do because I'm just like,
bro, your hit rate is the best. You're the 100% hit rate. So dated one person, married one person.
Yeah, good for me.
The true blue pro.
Yeah. So I'm like just like from the bat, I'm not like an expert in dating, but I'm just someone that has been very curious about like how the dating scene works or the dating culture or this. But I think one thing good for the fact that we have this sort of balance in this episode, right? I'm quite a interested person about how this works when you've had experience with dating like in the past or this lah. So for this week's episode, we're going to be doing a do's and don'ts of Singapore dating. So we're going to just roughly go through maybe the process of a date itself. And then we'll just like give our thoughts and opinions about what you should do, what you should not do. Correct, Brandon?
Yeah. Correct. Like what we like and what we feel that the girls wouldn't like. In our experience.
Yeah. But it's mostly a guy's point of view, guy's perspective.
Yeah.
All right, with that, let's get right into the dating episode. All right, Brandon. Okay, first off, I think the best way to start this off is that we are going to look at it from the process of a date. So, one thing that I would assume is that if you're already going on a date itself, there is some level of interest between you and this person, correct? Even if it's be on like online date or if you're like meeting this person personally, correct? What do you say? Like there's really some sort of level of chemistry that you...
So I feel like that's the first do. The first do and don't, right, is that you make sure that both parties know that it's a date. You know?
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Because sometimes,
you mean there are times that you just go out, they think it's a friend. Is it or what?
Yeah, no, as in, I had this conversation with Amanda before, because I told her that, honestly, when I feel, right, when a guy and girl goes out alone, right, one-on-one, is more often or not a date.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But even if like it's like friends going out, it's considered a date.
Like I said, like it can be a friend date lah. So like I said, even in the past, I won't consider it dating, but like it's like a friend date. It's like a movie date. It's like I go out watch movie with one-on-one with a very close friend of mine who's a girl. I won't really consider it a date, but like I will usually talk to her about things that I would like, or like practice, like not say practice, like.
Okay, interesting.
Like ask, because like especially because they are my close friends, right? Then I always ask them for their feedback, like, like what if a guy does this on a date? Like, what if a guy does this to you? How do you like it? Or like, that is like, and we go through like our own like do likes and don't likes about the like a date, you know? That's where you really like learn, or like, actually sometimes these girls like this, or sometimes girls like that, you know?
Okay. Yeah. And so is it important from the start to like sort of let them know that, hey, I'm interested in you?
Yes. Yeah.
And then I'm somewhat attracted to you. Like it's from the start, you must sort of like give the impression that I don't want to be like friends. I want to be like I'm interested in you lah.
So, yeah. So that's the thing. Is like if you that's the easiest way to not be in a friend zone. To never ever like that, when you want to date someone, right? Don't like. I always feel like, of course, some people say friends first, like, it's good, or it is true. But if you don't ever want to be in a friend zone, right, it's to always let the person, to really show and let the person know, right, that I am attracted to you. You know?
Okay, yeah.
That I am not here to be just a friend. I'm looking for something more. Yeah.
Which I think is an issue that I would say like maybe not very confident people will have, like maybe introverted people.
That's true.
Find it hard. That's why they end up getting stuck in this sort of like friend zone. They say like I will show my love by maybe I spend time around you, but I don't like naturally like say or express that I'm like interested in you as a person lah.
Especially if your environment like most of your friends are also introverted, so it's like their advice are also like catered towards like, this should be a date, you know, like you're going out, eat alone before everybody study together. Then I'm just like, huh? Are you kidding me? True story. Like there was this guy, like I feel like especially in like bigger churches, especially in like youths as like I feel like this is an issue like in certain cases where like because you grew up in church as a youth, right? Then they always tell you relationship is bad all the way until you're like 18, 19. So to all the way it's like you never know how to like chase or get
you're socially awkward around girls. You don't really know how to approach them and ask them for you might approach them friends, but you don't know how to approach them romantically.
Correct. You're not socially awkward, you're like dating awkward. It's like you don't know how
dating
to
awkward, correct.
You don't know how to go from like friends to not friends. Like you don't know how to express interest, you don't know how to move forward from like friends to not friends to talking as like moving forward in the relationship, you know? So it's like, and the people, all your friends around you are also the same. So it's like, the advice is like, I think this is a date. You're going for dinner.
Okay, then how do you, what are things that you would suggest to like show interest or like, because for me, right, when I was interested in my wife, I was like very forward,
open, forward, right?
Because I'm like, no, I like you. I don't want to like pretend I don't like you or whatever, right? So I would do things that are more physical because I'm a touch person. So for instance, like if you're in a group or whatever, even it's like small things like, hey, let's go here or whatever, I'll like grab her hand and pull her, or like which is like small physical things,
small, which is true. But like I said, because you are you are quite confident of yourself, and you know that, you know, I feel at that point of time but you see a lot of people don't dare, like especially when you like someone, right, to think about even touching the person's arm, right?
I get what you mean.
Your entire body's like, some people go break out into cold sweat, the entire body like.
I got friends, right, that they sort of how to say, they really like their friend. But as in all the while they like their friend, but in a way they don't dare to express that they like this person because they don't want to spoil the friendship. Yeah,
but honestly, like I said, if the more indecisive you are, right, at the end of the day you just be in the friend zone, no? And the fact is, like for example, let me give you an example. Like me and my Amanda, right, my wife, who if you don't know, Amanda's my wife, we were friends first. But the thing is, the clear difference, right, is that I confessed to her like very early on in our relationship. So she all along knew that I was attracted to her, that I'm attracted to her and I like her. But at the end of the day, if you feel like you're uninterested in the relationship, it's fine. As in, we can be friends, like it's okay. But the thing is, the fact of the matter is that in her mind, she knows that you are like there's some a level of attraction there, you know.
There will always be this like I made it very clear from the start. I'm attracted to you.
To you. Correct. That of course I am still your friend, but like, you know, like if you ever want to explore a person, like the option is always like there. But if you never ever express interest ever in your relationship, right, like the romantic aspect of your, like it won't pop up in the person's mind. It's just like thinking, oh, this person will always be a friend. But but when you talk about romantic, like, you know, like sometimes people like think about like, oh, like some guys will always be like, wow, when this friend break up with this guy, right, honestly, one day she'll wake up and see what a great guy I am. Then I'm just like, wow, bro, you watch
it's very Korean drama.
You watch too much movies, man. Like, man. Honestly, if like the worst thing is like, I think that's like one of the saddest things. Like, you know, like every time the girl break up, she'll just like talk to you about like their breakups. Then after that, like you just have to sit down there like controlling your feelings and at the same time hearing about how like lousy guys mistreat the girl that you like. But then after that, as things go on, honestly, I think the moment you reach like 2 to 3 years, right, it has to be a very drastic move, right, to make a girl like you. Like it has to be very drastic. Like it has to be
it's just very hard for them to get out of that, right? You're my brother.
Correct. That brother kind of vibe. So I give you an example of my dad friend, right? So I told him he was telling me that he liked this girl. Then I was like, oh wow, like does this girl like you back? That's like, she say, I think so. Like we went on a few dates. Then I was just like, oh wow, okay, I'm quite surprised because like this is like like he seems like a more introverted person. So it's like, oh wow, okay. Then it's like tell me about the dates, because he said he don't know how to move on from like this dating part to the next dating part. Then I was just like, oh, tell me about this. Oh, like before we go study together with our friends, right? We go eat dinner. Then I'm just like,
I knew it, brother. I was just going to say that.
Then it's like, and then sometimes when everybody leave, right, then it's just raw two, right, we on a study date. I'm just like, honestly, I wouldn't consider that as, I don't know. Then it's like, I am very, very, very sure that she has never ever thought that she went on a date with you.
Yeah. It's more like, I need to study, maybe I need to bounce some things off somebody.
Yeah. Or like
ask questions.
I need to eat before I go study. So like honestly, it's weird to eat alone. Like who is free?
Yeah.
Then like yeah. So it's like, so at the end of the day, this person won't, like, this girl won't view you romantically. The main thing is you want the person to view you romantically. Like, oh, like, this person is interested. Like, oh, like, when on a date, this is like a date to find out more about each other to go. But when you're talking about outing with friends, right, when you're eating, you're just talking about like nonsense or like nothing to move forward your relationship, you know? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's very true. All right. Now we sort of like get the context of, first off, the biggest do is that you must be forward. Make it clear that it is a date.
A date. Yes.
Okay, and then we're not like going out to go and like hang out as friends, right? I'm going on a date. Okay.
Yes.
Now, like let's say be it online dating or you're dating this person that you're interested in, right? Now we're gonna sort of like go into the do's and don'ts of like the process of a date. So first off, right, we're gonna talk about the preparation side. Like the game plan.
Game plan.
So, I got a game plan. You know, the hitch and all that. Yeah.
Preparation is key.
Yeah, preparation is key. So actually, Brendan, like, these are some things that I'm like genuinely curious about. I wanted to ask you. So, what do you do, how do I say, before the date? Like, what do you text before the date? Do you like bring it up all the time? Like, hey, I can't wait to go out together. Do you just say, or like, so, or do you honestly, like casually say like, hey, I see you at this timing, or at
correct. I feel like you should do it the way you are, like, you know, like if you are the kind that are usually very excited about things, right? You should always like, not like, tell the person, I'm so excited for the day. Because at the end of the day, that's your personality. So it reflects. So it's like, So it's like, for example, for me, right, I'm like, oh my God, I tell you, I'm so ready for our date this Saturday. Like, honestly, I play it all out. No, you're going to have the best day of your life. This is what the things I will say. Because that's my personality. Yeah. But I can imagine, like, for example, some of my other friends, right, they aren't like this. So if I give them advice to be like me, right, it will be a very big, huge contrast of the person texting, oh my God, I'm so excited. Then when it comes like, hey man. Hey babe, let's go. Hey babe, like,
how you doing?
Man. Yeah. So some of them, they're more chill. So it's like hey babe, let's go. But it's not like, oh my gosh, let's go. Like, it's a very different vibe. So if like, you don't want people to feel like, oh, this person is so different on text and in real life, then they get a bit of like shell shock. Then after that, they need some time to readjust during the date as well. So it's like, that's why I say, be yourself. Like, at the end of the day, I always feel like key thing is be yourself. But of course, there are certain things that, like, I feel like certain rules or like really don'ts that, like, although, you know, you think it's a good idea, but honestly, is the damn dumb lah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have some, like, for doing the prep site?
Yeah, like the prep site is like, honestly, especially for guys, right? I feel one thing guys love to do, right, is like, I'm going to go on an impromptu date.
Shit. No.
Don't do most dumb shit ever. Like, honestly, I'm just going to meet this girl, right, at Ion, right? And we're going to figure things out from there. I'm just like, whoa.
Nope. This is a thing, right, that I feel girls look out for a lot in a guy. It's whether they are like, how to say, first off, whether they put in effort to plan. Correct? Because I think it's very important to go and be able to see that, oh, you're a reliable person that is like, that makes me sort of say, put in effort to go and set up a date. Yeah. And then I think it's very, very chaotic to go there to the date itself and then find like, oh shit, this place got no seat, then we end up at five guys or something like that.
Or KFC, just like, hey, you like KFC, right?
She go and text all her friends. The worst day
ever. Like I said, one of the worst things, like what you say is correct. It's like, you know what? It's like when you're finding a place to eat, and honestly, weekend dates are the worst. Is when you're finding a place to eat and you're just like, everywhere no space. So you're like walking around, right, finding someone to accept you. Like, thinking, what the hell is this guy doing, man? Bring me for a walk around. I want to looking for food. This is like, I'm a scavenger. Like, gives you also a very, I'm a very scavenger, poor.
And scavenger, and you're not someone that is prepared or reliable,
or like decisive, or like, you know, like I before that I didn't make up my mind. I'm going to eat this. I like the girls like decisive guys lah. Yeah. Decisive, like in control of the situation. Doesn't feel very lost. Because if you can't decide, you know, like the thing is when you're looking for a place to eat, there's nowhere. You make yourself seem very lost. Like, where am I going?
Yeah. Do you know about this horse analysis thing where they ask like people to close their eyes and think of a color of a horse? Do you know about this?
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember you did that to me before.
Yeah. So if you to close your eyes and look for a horse, right, that sort of identifies what type of partner that you like. And it says that majority of females, right, when they close their eyes and then they think of a horse color, right, most of the time it's brown, which is the color of the earth, which means that they want reliable people, dependable people.
Dependable and reliable people,
Yeah, so these things is, I would say, very important. Essential things that you have to go and keep in mind. Yeah. Okay, so now that you sort of are looking into planning the things properly, right, I think this is actually quite important. What is the cuisine? Let's say, or what is the thing that you should be booking? Should you be having a dinner? Should you be having an activity? Or do you think it's just depending on the person itself? Okay, so if, let's say it's a first time like online date, then where will you go? And then also maybe like one is maybe you know this person. So what will you do? Do you do activity or do you say like do dinner? What do you think is like a safe option, or what do you think is like don't do this like dinner?
Honestly, right, I feel like if I was ever online dating right now, I would never go for on my first date. Right, I would never go for dinner first, like straight away dinner. Unless
really, no,
yes. Unless right, I've spoken to this girl on like Tinder right for very like for a while already, and like I feel like we can really hit it off. But the thing is, because you're talking to so many, right? So it's like you can really feel like how like you can gauge like how well you hit it off. Some of them is just like, oh, like, you want to go for dinner sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, sure, like, let's go for dinner. But it's like, there's no much foundation. But some of them is like, you are talking about, you have so many common interests that you're talking for so long, right? That I feel like that's okay to go for dinner. But normal online dating, right? I feel like the weirdest thing is just that you go for dinner, right? And you have so many awkward silences. That's like the worst thing. Yeah, right. You get what I mean? Because
okay.
Yeah.
So, like, if let's say it's an online date, where will you go?
I'll go for either coffee or bubble tea. Especially girls, they love bubble tea. It's like, oh my gosh, let's go. Like honestly, I'll just make it like, oh, I really wanted you. There's this bubble tea place right there. I heard it's so good. Let's go get it together. Then you go for bubble tea, right? Then you drink first. Then you just make it seem as if like you by right had a plan after that, or like you don't say anything. It depends whether she asks or not, lah. Then after that, like if you feel like the thing is going very well, then you go for dinner after that. You get what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you do have to plan some sort of dinner thing, lah. Correct?
Yeah, it's like you can make a booking just in case, lah. Yeah. Correct.
What about like movies?
I think no, like, right? I think movie is more of like if you're getting closer to the person, like you're already like closer.
Maybe second or third date.
Correct.
Yeah, maybe third date, fourth date, something like that, but not the first date, lah. I wouldn't recommend, right, for the first date.
I really wouldn't recommend a movie for first date. But like I said, it depends. My advice is, right, if you're a very shy person, right, actually movie date is very good.
Oh, okay. I mean?
Yes. If you're slightly shy, because like I get it that, you know, like in the past before when the first few times I ever went on a date, it's like I was a bit more shy. So it's like you mumble, you stumble a lot, you don't know what to talk about. So it's like a movie is good for if you're a bit more shy, is because you get to you get to talk about the movie before the date. Then after that, you sit next to each other, you get time to warm up. When you spend time, even though you don't say anything during the movie, when you're spending time with a person, you naturally get slightly closer. You know, you feel more comfortable naturally. And when you're sharing popcorn, you're sharing chips, there will be some physical contact. So it's like you slowly warm up, and the person feel more and more comfortable with you as well. So after the movie, it's like it gives you more confidence. So that, like I said, if you are a bit more shy, I feel like your first date movie is okay. But if you really want to like speed things along, like a movie won't like let you know the person very well. You know, I
get what you mean. Yeah, it's more of you might be more comfortable because there's a space where it's like you all are focusing on the movie, but you're in proximity with each other. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, maybe for me, I don't think I would do a movie because for me, right, I think we're more forward. I would just want to know the person first, yeah, lah. But I get what you mean. Therefore, if you're shy, you want to go and sort of do, I think movies are okay, lah.
Correct. Yeah. Also, after the movie, like if you don't know what to talk, honestly, like I said, I understand some people struggle to find, like, especially when you're with a girl that you really like, right? Sometimes your brain just gets fogged up, you know, like you're just like, oh my gosh, what do I talk about? And the more you stress about that, like the more you like stumble to find something to talk about. But then when you go for watch movie, right, you can always fall back on the movie, like, oh my god, do you like that part about the movie? That like. like if you really got nothing to talk about, like if you talk about a movie, because like then you give yourself time to like figure out, actually then after from there it's like, oh wow, yeah, actually talking about family, like the person's family, like that, like are you very close to your family, that kind of thing. This is like from there it's easier for you to break like move on with the date. Yeah.
All right, now we sort of like covered the, how would I say, like the planning side. Now it's more of the self prep. What do you think is like the do's and don'ts, like to present yourself? So what will you wear? Like do you put perfume? Do you like what do you know? What are like don'ts that you don't do, like, or do to go and prepare yourself?
I always go by the you smell good, you look good, you feel good, bro. I always, like in the past, right? I always have this distinct smell. It was my favorite softener actually, but
yeah, it's very strong.
Yeah, it's very very strong.
Lemon.
So it's like people, it to the point that even after that, right, people text me like or like here and there. It's like, oh my god, bro, oh my god, you know, I smelled you on the train. I like, you know, like, so I smell, yeah, correct. Then they're like, oh my gosh. So it's the same thing with perfume. It's like, you know, like when you use it doesn't matter if you use a popular, but always stick with one perfume. Like I always feel like sometimes the guys have too many perfumes, right, and they keep changing, right?
Yeah.
But if you always have this distinct smell, right? Yeah. Whenever the person smells this smell, they will straight away think of, oh my gosh, Brendan used this. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Then what do you wear? Like what do you wear? What do you like? No.
No, of course. Shorts and slippers, I feel like shorts and slippers and sliders is like, unless you're going for like what, rollerblading or going out to the beach, then of course I don't talk about those dates, but yeah. But if we're talking about like normal like dinner or coffee or like standard is always pants or jeans. Then I always go for a shirt, and I always feel like in the past whenever I go on date, right, I always bring a jacket, either a jacket, right, or I wear a t-shirt inside of my shirt.
Smart. Yeah, because in case they cold, is it, or like, or do you feel
so
what?
it's like, it's very versatile. So for example, like especially if you're going on date in town, right? Then let's say you want to for example, last time a popular place is Sydney / the Grand Cathay, all these kind of places. And then like for example, when you're on date, sometimes once you finish a movie or you finish your dinner, then you're looking for some place to go. You just want to sit down somewhere and chit chat and talk. And sometimes you just sit right outside the place to listen to the music, people basking, or like you sit down by the steps. Yeah. Then a very like I learned this. I don't know. It's like I felt it's a very. Like, I asked a friend whether they think it's very like a nice thing to do. Is that you before the girl sits down, right? You take off your shirt or you take off your jacket, right? And you put it on the floor for her to sit down on the jacket.
Oh, okay.
Either that or if they're wearing a skirt, then you give them the jacket to cover themselves. So and like I said, girls do take that into consideration. Like, wow, this guy very respectful. Like, wow, like this guy, he cares. Like, and of course, the key one is whenever they feel like they are cold, right? Then you put your jacket over them. Don't ask. You know, you don't ask. Never ask whether they need a jacket. You just straight away you just put your jacket over them.
Yeah.
And yeah, cause you know that you feel cold, but the moment you ask, when you ask, it's like you're giving them like people. Then you like, then when they say no, then you have to think like, do I now put? Then it's like I'm not respecting her decision, but
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe a good sort of tip lah for you is like just bring a jacket in case that you
especially
in case thing lah. Okay, then now let's sort of talk about like the picking up part. So when you if you have a car, do you pick up the girl? And if you don't have a car, do you go and meet her before you, or like just meet her at the venue itself?
Yeah, I feel like if you have a car, right, I think you always go pick her up. You know, like it goes a long way. Yeah.
Okay, so you just make it a point to pick her up lah.
Yeah, cause that's where you really show that I'm interested in you. You know, like, cause like friends meet friends at the movies and or wherever. So sometimes I get it. Sometimes when you ask someone out, right, you may not have already like express interest. Because like sometimes you as friends, you say, oh my gosh, there's this really nice movie that I really want to watch. Let's go. Then after that, the person, oh my gosh, yeah, okay. Then you never ever you haven't confessed because like you held out your feelings for a while. So in these kind of situations, like if you really want to show the person that you're like to build up to the confession, or to like show the person that this is really a date and not a what, right? Like buy a singular flower. And then after that, don't buy like a bouquet of roses or whatever nonsense. Don't. As I feel like it's too much for a first date. But if it's very cute, if it's a very cute like one sunflower, a solitary sunflower or a rose, then you can just say like, Yeah. My favorite line is my mother tell me I cannot show up on a date without a flower.
Did your mother actually tell you that?
No, actually like
load of bullshit. But it works. It works.
Like I said, it's a funny thing. Then the girls always laugh. What nonsense are you talking about? Then you're just like, no, what are you talking? Are you saying my mother is nonsense?
You're just having some good manners. Yeah, you are keeping back on. Yeah. But then, okay, so now let's say you don't have a car. Then what do you do? Just meet at the venue itself?
Me at the venue.
Okay. Yeah, because it's very weird. Like you got to meet you at the MRT, then we to take the MRT.
Correct. Yeah, because the thing is, I feel right. Unless let's say you really like you're neighbors and you all both know that you're neighbors, then of course you'll go together lah. But
yeah, of course, like this kind of thing.
Yeah, because in this day and age, right, when people have went on multiple dates before, right, and like they're dating before, like going there and meet them at the MRT is like a reminder that you don't have a car. Good point, Brendan. Yeah, so when you meet down there, right, it just seems like I'm meeting you here, it's like, it's just like we're meeting here. So it's like you don't bring it up. It's not subconsciously she doesn't even register that that fact. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's say if you meet the person. Okay, now you meet the person. What is an appropriate or inappropriate greeting to give to the person? So let's say from a standpoint of this is the first time you all are meeting, and then maybe from a standpoint of like this is how you say, like we sort of know each other, then how do you greet? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Complete stranger to like someone that you know, like how will you greet?
Well, like I feel firstly, right, it has to go with your personality as well. Like honestly, for me, right, in the past, you also as well as you know, like I'm guessing also for you, we are very physical people. So it's like when people see us, like when you go for a hug, right, people all along when the person has spoken to you, right, they already know like, okay, this person is a very like huggy, physical person.
A bit more physical,
yeah, they get your vibes already. But if you're not a very physical person and you force yourself to hug, it really feels damn awkward. I've seen it before in real life. It's just like, oh my god, like, wow, the back of my head standing watching this, you know, do I go left, do I go right? It's like very weird. So it's like, don't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do. Yeah, so like, and never go, the one thing I feel like you should never do, right, is don't go for a bro fist, man. I think bro fist is like,
oh my word.
Like, oh my gosh. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's a red card.
Yeah. Are we in church? I'm telling you, I've seen it before, and honestly, it's so weird. It's like the girls in their mind thinking like, what am I doing? Like, what is this?
Right. I see. If I see something there, I'll be like, just punch me. Just like, just take your fist and hit me in the face.
Yeah.
Cannot, yeah.
Like I won't do a handshake. I won't do a bro fist. I won't do any. It's either a hug or you just wave. No, you just wave. Then after you hey, come let's go, like hello. Then after you I see. Then after you get her to wherever you.
Yeah. Okay. I was just gonna say, right, if you're a bit uncomfortable with a hug, I think one thing good is like you say hello, then after you say, hey, let's go. Then after you just
gently touch her hand and like arm or whatever to like, hey, let's go there. Like
just to give like a physical suggestion. It's like, hey, I'm here. But we are but I'm
because it's to break the physical boundary. Correct. Yeah. So like honestly, I have this that's why I wrote this for a friend, right? Like the different stages of like.
You wrote this?
Yeah, I wrote this on a foolscap paper. Honestly, I remember I have this on the foolscap, right? Like honestly, step one, like the stage one is like eye contact. Like honestly, when you eye contact, then after that, when you all can smile, like I said, like a very rush, like a very like specific eye contact. Then I remember correctly, like as long as you all smile at each other, like you all smile at each other. Then after, of course, it's talking. Then after, when you all talk already, right? Then after, it's always physical contact. And physical contact is anything. It could be the fact that sometimes you like grab the person by the neck. You know, like sometimes if you're, for me, I'm very tall, so a lot of times like, oh my god, don't say anything. Then I grab the person to like break, like be more comfortable, physically.
Yeah.
Or you can ruffle the person's hair.
Yeah. But it's like it's just some sort of
like physical action to like break the physical boundary. Then from there it's easier to go to a hug. Yeah. Then after a hug, like when you naturally can hug, then after it will be like holding hands. Like I say, like in Singapore we don't really do like kisses on the cheeks. You get what I mean?
Yeah. It's a very French thing. French or
Italian. Peranakan, yeah, it's very Peranakan. It's a very Peranakan thing.
Yeah, Peranakan French thing.
Yeah. So
that's the fun.
yeah, but usually after holding hands is the kiss lah. Like usually people don't, they move on to kiss. Then the moment you go kissing, is like that's your relationship with So.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about you meet the person, now after you go on the date. Okay, if I know that you said not to suggest food places, right? But like you would first date, most likely you won't recommend food.
No,
not a meal, like coffee or
As if that's online dating lah. But when you're talking about like someone that you've been chasing for very long and you already like built a foundation there. Honestly, dinner is good. Yeah.
Okay. But okay, now but from what I understand, right, most people they go out on the first date is dinner. For some reason lah, it's like or they go and eat or whatever. Yeah, they go and eat a meal or whatever like that. So that I want to ask you, right, what is like the cuisine that is like okay to eat, what is not good to eat on a first date?
Ooh, yeah. I have a clear don't. A clear don't is really Italian. I feel Italian is one of the worst thing that you can eat on a date. Like really, like
it's very messy,
pasta,
bro.
Yeah, it's very messy.
The pizza, pasta, the cheese,
the cheese. Yeah, it's not very glamorous to see like someone like the tomato sauce all over. No matter how careful you are, then after the cheese is like it's a bit messy. Like I said, for first date, it's really not recommended lah. That and seafood. Like some people, especially if you got to eat crab or prawn. Wow, my gosh.
Anything you got to use your hands, right? That's easy to grab something. Like even if you like eat chicken wings or this, right? Like I think it's not a good thing to eat on a first date lah.
Yes. Like KFC.
yeah, KFC. Anything that you have to use your hands or whatever, right? They make you look a bit uncultured or make you look very messy, right? This is something I don't recommend.
Correct.
Even now also, like sometimes I'm married to my wife already, right? Like she see me eat the thing, she be like, damn disgusting. Now like we are married.
Yeah, even now when I see me eat, like eat my pasta, got this, your mouth really don't close once. Yeah.
So like but noodles and rice for this, what do you think? Or like no?
I always go for rice. I feel like a very nice place to like. I always feel first dates. Always go for I will go more Western or Japanese rather than Chinese, because at the end of the day it's perception. So it's like Western and Japanese, it seems more classy, you know?
Yes, I was gonna say that. I wouldn't pick Chinese cuisine. Yeah, because especially, I mean, like from a point of view of we are Chinese, I think that most of the time, if you are dating another Chinese girl or whatever, right, they probably get to eat Chinese very often. So it's like, like try something a bit different.
Like even Hai Di Lao, it's like, even though that's considered Chinese, but I also won't do that for my first date, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, plus you smell afterwards.
Correct. Yeah.
Alright, so the big do's and don'ts, maybe Western Japanese is like safe lah.
Yes.
Yeah, something that also don't use your hands or this. Okay, now on the date itself, Brendan, you're the one that's like sort of like wrote this down on the thing, right? Now we're gonna talk about like topics that you cannot talk. So what are some things that you feel like, okay, this is like good to talk about? What are some things that you feel like, don't talk about this on the date? Yeah.
Like honestly, like I feel like this is like, but wow, I think this is one of the hardest things to do. Is like there are certain things that you don't talk about unless the person bring it up. Natural things like, when you talk about work, right, you branch off from there. When you talk about family, like, like in the future, like, how do you, I'm like, okay, it's a very, very easy question to ask. Like, after they talk about their family, right, they ask them, you like, for example, they say, I have like one brother, one sister, like a big family or a small family. That's usually, the next question is ask them, next time, so next time when you get married, will you want a big family or a small family?
Yeah. It's just like, you just slowly like, ask questions, then like, just keep prolonging the question, the conversation by asking more questions. Yeah.
Correct. Because it shows that you're listening to her, and then you move on to like a related question. And at the same time, you're finding out like you're slowly getting deeper and deeper instead of like straight away going, like, instead of asking about the family, like, so how many kids you want to have next time? It's just like, wow, interviews are this one.
Yeah. Do you know who's really good at this? We both grew up with him.
Timmy,
No, Timmy is one. Yeah, Timmy is one.
Timmy is
but
one.
Leonard.
Yes.
He's probably the best I've ever seen at this, right? Where he will, and then when I grew up, I sort of like learned a lot of things from observing him. I mean, he doesn't know this lah, but his personality, even to this day, right, is inspire me a lot in the way that I podcast. So, for instance, right, he'll ask questions and be, because I think in general, we are both very naturally curious people. So when you ask a question, right, he's very intently listening to what you're saying. He's not trying to like
just ask for the sake of asking, right? Yeah.
Which is, I think, one thing that is very obvious to tell, right? If this person, if they're asking a question, is bullshit or not interested or not interested.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of times, right? People, they ask questions is because they want you to ask them back the same question. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a big no. That's a big no in the question.
Big cut. Yeah, please don't do that, please. Like, ask questions that make you like genuinely curious about the person. Don't ask and then hope that they ask you back the same question so they'll seem smart. Not like you're going to answer.
So that's the next thing. Like, for example, if you're asking a lot of questions, right? Like, don't pre-write your question beforehand. You know, like, for example, you have. Like, it's okay, of course, you have like a few questions that you in your mind, you're thinking that I should ask in the date, but don't go through them so fast. You know, you don't go through them like, oh, so what kind of family you like? Then after that, the answer is like, oh, I like to have this family. You don't bother to ask why. You don't bother to ask, oh, how come? You should move. Oh, okay, that's good to know. So, then it's like a very, right.
The price
okay, that's good to know. You don't move on so quickly. It's like, like it will feel like an event interview. Like, so then you like, it's as if you're really sure phone. So what's your hobby? I play volleyball. Then usually people like, what over the weekends? Who do you play with? Or like, is it since you play since young? Yes. But no, it's like, it's like, do you play volleyball? Yes. Oh, what's your hobby? Volleyball. Oh, that's good to know. So. Do you drive? Yeah. It's just like,
like if you use that scenario as an example, right? Let's say, for instance, they say, I play volleyball. There are a lot of things that you can ask to follow up that.
Yes.
To, like, just prolong the question. Oh, when you play volleyball, right? Do you play on the beach or do you play like the indoor volleyball?
Yeah.
Yeah, then after that, you can ask them, like, for instance, I know that, I don't know about you, but I know, like, the Korean, they have one very famous volleyball player. She's always does on the variety show. Then you can just slowly branch.
Dance, correct.
Yeah. Then you can know, like, from there, okay, if she's not interested in Korean stuff, then okay, I don't talk about this style thing, but I can still prolong about the volleyball thing.
Yes.
Yeah, like when do you start? When do you like? Do you know what I mean?
Who do you play with? Yeah, correct. Like,
do you play 2-on-2? Do you play in a team? Volleyball is different. Yeah, there's so many things that you can ask. Then I would say it's very important, like, for these situations.
Yeah, so that's why if you're too nervous, right, in your mind, you just go through your questions very fast, right? Like, you feel, like, honestly, you may not mean it that way. You may not want meaning to come off very standoffish, but it feels that way because, like,
it will naturally just come off that way,
Yeah, because you feel like, it feels like you don't even bother, you just asking for the sake of asking. It just feels like you don't even care about her answers. You just want to ask your questions, you know? But then, if you genuinely like someone, right, you're really very curious to know, like, like, do you play since young, or like who introduced you to the game, like who's your this kind of thing, or like who's your closest friend, like how do you all meet, this kind of things. Like, it's like, like you are curious to know because you really want to like find out more about this person and how they work, you know? Yeah.
And these type of things, right, really just put effort to listen, because you never know, right, when it's like maybe the next date or whatever, they might bring it up again. And then, like, let's say, for instance, you weren't listening, you're pretending to listen. And then after you ask the same question you asked the first time, it's like, it comes off very disingenuous.
That's like one of the worst. If someone has to explain to you whatever they explain to you on on the past day, right, that's one of the worst.
Yeah. Or just always like mentally, if you are interested in the person, you got to put in the effort, the mental effort. Okay. Now what are some things that like will irk you during the date? Like, you feel like, or maybe when do you feel like is not proceeding, do you still carry on with the full date, or do you like stop? Do you know what I mean? If you know that, for instance, the date is like, it's not really going there.
Going well, yeah. Like, you know that the chemistry is not there. Like I say, I feel like I'll still finish the date. Like, I feel like it's a respect thing. I'm not the kind of, I know some people who, like, if they know that it's not the right girl, they're just like, I have to rush off for something. Let me go by. I need to go already by. It's like, wow. What a gangster.
But I feel it's a very like girl thing. It's like a lot of time, I go to the toilet and just they might just, how to say, my dog has something, or my friend needs me, or whatever.
Yeah, they'll just say like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like usually people will like say, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to rush off because my friend needs me. My friend wake up, but I feel like nowadays, I don't know about the dating life now, but then like last time, I also feel like, it doesn't happen as often, because like, unless you're really that horrible of a date but like, honestly, like, end of the day, even though you know that you don't have any chemistry with this person, you feel like you can still tahan like another 30 more minutes to 1 hour to like finish talking.
Yeah.
You eat finish, like, but you faster eat, like, you just like, the person talking, you just like, I'm going to eat. Yeah.
But it's like out of maybe like being more of a gentleman, like just finish the date.
Yeah, just finish the date. Because end of the day, I always feel that you never know that maybe one day you're going to date a person that this person knows. Then after, if you know, Singapore is such a small place. Then if you are very mean and you handle like a relationship, especially like a romantic, like almost romantic relationship wrongly, right? It will affect, like, what if this person knows the person? Then it's like, wow, this guy don't even know how to go on dates. And like, wow, this person. Then after you just like, it affects your impression on the person that you could have like gotten together with, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's very true. Okay, now let's this is more of like on the date itself. So yeah, I think it's good also, like, maybe just like hold out until the end. But okay, let's say after the date ends. So let's say the date ends. Do you send the person back if you have a car? Or if you don't, even if you don't have a car, do you send the person back?
Yeah, I think irregardless, like, if you want to move forward with the relationship, always send the person back. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
even if you don't have a car, just send the person back.
Even if you don't have a car. Like,
okay, but let's say, for instance, do you take the MRT? Do you book a Grab for the person? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, so I feel, right, especially for this kind of thing, I think you need some sense to sense whether, like, the person what is her, like, level of, like,
interest.
Level of interest is one thing, as well as like, what's that word for it, lah?
What do you mean? Like, describe it. When a woman is
their standard of living. The SES, yeah. No, because like I don't blame people. Like, some people, they are very used to comfort, because like their parents have a car, they have a car. Like, honestly, they go out, they have a car. Then, you know, in these cases, right, you ask them to take a train. They don't even normally take train. Then you ask them to take a train, it will be damn weird. Yeah, so then now you confirm have to book book a Grab. Maybe like during dinner you like had a wine or whatever. You just say that you want to make sure that the girl get home safe. You book a Grab. You send her home first. Then after you walk her to the door. Then, like I said, I always use the line, my mother teach me I need to walk the girl to the door. If not, like, what if you cannot? if the person cannot kidnap, it's my fault.
You always say your mother, but actually all this is your father teach you.
Yeah, actually it's my father. It's more often not my father than my mother. But it's
your
like,
father teach you to say that it's your mother teach you. Yeah.
But gentleman is usually what my mother will teach. Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's true. So you make sure that you send them back, irregardless of the situation, unless it's like very clear that you both are not interested and you're like
correct. Because if you're not very interested and you still, I understand that some guys want to be very gentlemanly, right? But you already know the chemistry is not there. You don't want to, firstly, you don't want to send mixed signals. Secondly, it's like the girl, a lot of times, like she also will know that you all don't have that chemistry. So it's like, it'll be very weird conversation. Like, one of the weirdest things is like on a cab ride home, right? It's like total silence. Yeah. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, when will this cab be over? When will this be over?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Okay, then so let's say you sort of drop her off, you send her back safely. Then after that, what do you think is like appropriate goodbye again? Like appropriate gesture to say goodbye, whatever. I think if you can sort of reach to this point, right, where it's like that they're okay if you sending them back, I think there's sort of a chance that there might be a second date, because you are sort of
yes. If they are very okay, there's a very high chance that there will be a second date if they're okay with sending you home. And like I said, you don't have that awkward silence, super long awkward silence during the car ride back, you know. And things are going well all the way you're speaking. So
I think I would hug.
I feel that the minimum should be a hug. Yeah, because especially if you manage to, like I say, if you're really going to send a girl home, means you're interested. It means there's a amount of chemistry there. Like, but of course, if you don't feel comfortable, please don't force yourself. Like I said, the weirdest one is like like if you had such a nice date, right, and you're not the physical kind of person, right, then after that, you force yourself to hug, right, then, like, the girl see you do like a very weird, like I don't know, to reach it's like the date went so well there, but then it ended off so weirdly to the point that it's a very mixed feeling kind of date. It was like, how did the date go? It went great at first, but then like, wow, it was like,
it ended off badly. Yeah,
it ended off very badly. Yeah. But if you're like I say, if you're very comfortable with hugging, and you feel like this is like honestly, after speaking so long, we know so much about each other, like the desires, the wants, the futures, the plans that we have. Then of course, it's like your natural go-to is a hug. Then like I said, like I said, and especially if you drank alcohol during the I always feel like alcohol helps you skip a lot of steps. Like in the past, I always tell people like alcohol helps you because it lowers your inhibitions and then that's true. You let loose of yourself more. But like I said, at the end of the day, you control yourself. But I always feel like you can. After a while, that's why I say when you go on more dates, you get to feel like the vibe. Like I always feel like there are signals that the girl gives you, right, to like prolong. Like if the girl wants to stay in your company longer, right. Usually means that they are very interested. Yeah, they are interested, and like maybe they are waiting for like a hug, or maybe some of them could be a kiss. Like let's say if you're talking about second or third date, right? Like if they keep lingering, it's just like like some girls make it very obvious already, but the guy's just like, hey, oh my gosh, like it's still quite early. Let's go for let's walk around the pool for a while and talk some more. For what?
Ooh, I never bring any trunks there. Like, not going. Plus, one thing I think is also good. Maybe you can try, as in maybe you can sort of test if they're really interested. If they really can go to this point, right? You're like they allow them to send it back. When you get out of the car or whatever, right? Maybe you can hold a hand and walk to the door or something like that. If you feel
to the lift, to the door, to the door.
Okay, to the door. As in lift door lah. Or to the
house door. House door.
What? Like if you've got a chance to bump into parents, you also like don't mind lah.
Yeah, honestly. So like I said, it depends on, like I said, end of the day, like some girls will tell you like, oh, they don't want their parents to find out, or like they.
Okay, yeah, you see, you must see the situation.
Then you see the situation. But majority of time, let's say if you're like end of the day also, it also depends on your confidence level lah. Like and like how open you are. Like honestly, I'm okay with meeting parents. I like that. Can't then like they remember like. Like I feel that the reason why you should do that, majority of the time you should do that more often, is because when the father and the mother remembers you, right, and they know your name and who you are, they'll ask the girl, oh, who is this person? Then after that they will remind this girl about, oh, the day you went out with this guy, like how is it? Then after that they will, like, there will be more people bring up your relationship, and she'll be reminded of you more often or not. Yeah. So it's the same way as like when more people know about you. Last time, when you tease like this guy and girl, you keep teasing them like, oh my god, you like this girl, you did that. End of the day, somehow or another, they will really like consider the relationship, because like they're like, everybody keep teasing me, maybe there's something like, maybe this person is really good for me, the kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Okay, now let's say you send her back, and then after you go down and you sort of like go home or this. When is it like okay to like start talking to her again? Do you text her immediately? Do you want to like appear too interested, or do you think like it doesn't matter, or like what? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe from your perspective,
Wait 3 days, cause just like Jesus. No, at the end of the day, I always feel it depends how well your date went. And that's the reason why I always feel like during the date, right, you already like it's a very serious thing. It's like you really bring up possibilities for the next date, like talk about things that
you're like
do this.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like next time we should do this together. Like, oh my gosh, like that's why you always talk about common interests and common like hobbies, or common like the movies that you like, common dramas that you like, and that's where you can really like know like like if you feel very awkward on like how to start a conversation after that, it's like for example, the Korean drama is like, oh my gosh, like, oh, you must send me the link. Then after, if you really don't know how to start a conversation, I hope you had a very nice time today. Like honestly, I always feel like you should always round off with a nice text. Like, oh, I really hope you had a nice time today.
I think so too.
I know I had a lot of fun learning about. Then you always like put like a nice memory that you all had together on the thing. I always remember that you loved then after that. Then you just say that, like it was, I really had fun. I really hope that we can do this again. So it's like that you really put like you end the thing off well, with a nice solid text.
Do you think that it's important to say that I hope we can do this again in the thing?
I feel like you don't need to. I don't really need to say. I hope we can do this again. It's like it could be like let's do this again. Let's do this again. Okay. Like I said, I'm just paraphrasing because, like I said, if you're talking about like common interest in a thing, let's go. Like, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, let's go for like John Wick 2 because we talk about it in the game, or like let's go for The Conjuring because the girl like for horror shows, yeah. So let's go for Conjuring the next time, or like let's go for like Italian the next, or like let's go for like this specific Japanese restaurant because we mentioned it on a date next, you know, like on a date, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So always bringing it back to the date, like whatever you talk about on a date. So it shows that you really remember and you really care, and the girl will,
you attentive.
Yeah, instead of saying that like let's go do this again sometime, it's like you say, oh my gosh, we should totally go do this next time, like this specific thing next time. Then after the girl will be like, oh my gosh, yes. You know, it's like the standard girl reply is like, oh my gosh, yes, I really want to try this. It's like, yeah, I really had such a nice time. It's a very standard reply like. It's usually the case. If the person don't reply you like this, it's like, oh,
yeah.
You need to go and do some AR.
yeah. If they. But I think it's also good to sort of say like, to suggest that you want to do something. Like what you said, right?
Correct.
Because from there, right, they can say like, oh yeah, I'm so, then you'll know like, oh yeah, like, yeah, let's do this sometime again. You'll know the level of interest lah. If they say like, oh yeah, maybe they see how, or something, some sort of response.
Okay, see when.
That's more or less about the dating things. But before we end off, right, is there any sort of things that you want to add in, like last minute things, or like what do you think is maybe the most important thing, the dating? For me, I think the most important thing, right, dating, number one thing is just listening. Like, you put in effort to really listen. Like, please don't listen for the sake of listening, or like do an interview style of thing. Just
correct. Or like talk too much, or like, you know, like for example, someone just, when you ask a question, you just, before the person answers, like, yeah, you know about my life,
yeah, please don't talk about yourself all the time. Like, it's a two-way thing. Like, and I know a lot of people, right? They just struggle with this so much. It's like they just want to talk about themselves, or they like don't know when to listen. Yeah, just please don't do that.
Yeah,
number one thing.
I feel like that's a very hard balance to have. Like when someone says, like, they always say be yourself on a date, and it's very true. You really have to be yourself, but
you gotta put in effort also.
Yeah, you have to put in effort to be a likable version of yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
It's the same thing as like at home you fart, at home you leave the dishes. When you go on date, you don't do this kind of nonsense, right? You know, like at home you pick on nose, you don't pick on nose on a date because you know that that's not the likable version of yourself, a nice image of yourself. So it's the same way that, of course, that sometimes maybe wearing a nice clothes may not be totally you, but at the same time, you want to be a likable version of yourself, like to show that I don't usually do this, but for you, because I like you, I'm doing this because I really want to show you that I'm putting an effort into going out with you. You know, that's the kind of effort you want to see. Yeah. So when you be yourself, but at the same time, you know, do your best to be a likable version of yourself.
The best version of you.
Best version of yourself, yeah. So that's the reason why you like when you go on more like when you meet the people, right, or you even ask your friends, like, you know, like, wow, is this like something that I should be doing, or like if you find out like if you go on like multiple dates, right, and everybody that you can't find chemistry with anybody, right, majority of the time, right, it's a you problem.
I agree, brother.
Yeah. Like if you go on like 10 days and all 10 days, like, you know, it's like didn't go well, right? I feel like more often or not, it's like maybe you're doing something wrong, you're wearing the wrong thing, or you could be saying the wrong things, or you could be not listening enough, talking too much. You know, that majority of the time is that, I feel.
Yeah.
Dating.
Yeah, fun and interesting episode. I don't know why I'm not dating anymore, but I find it very fascinating to understand like how people like their mindset when they date all this. And you know what I mean? Like I always find it very interesting.
Yeah. So that's why sometimes when I meet younger people now, I always ask them like, oh, how's the online dating scene now? Like, how's the like dating scene now? Like, is it the same as last time? Where it's like, you know, like do you? Because honestly, the dating places change so much. Last time it used to be like everybody go to Cine Leisure for date, but then now Cine Leisure is like a date now.
Date, man. Date, yeah.
Completely date now. Like sometimes last time we go Far East Plaza for like dates, or like, you know, you go Taka, like, those kind of places. But now you don't see that as often. You know, like I wouldn't even know where's a nice dating place to go to now.
Yeah, exactly, man. I guess that's why we are a bit out of touch. But oh well. I said right. Yeah, I said right when I was in Cine Leisure the other day, right, I saw a tumbleweed rolling.
Get out of here.
Oh, look at the time. The coffee shop is closing. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed the episode, please remember to give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. We have episodes that drops every Monday. But at the same time, also, if you're into football, we have the Football Kaki that drops every Wednesday. And if you want to hang out with us and do a draft show, we have the SG Draft Podcast that drops every Friday. We hope everyone has fun dating. But remember,
a kopi a day keeps your troubles away. In the car, I just can't wait to pick you up on our very first day.
Forever and ever. Let's make this last forever. Blink-182, love it. Bye, bro. See ya.
Bye.